Now again, this is a very typical questions of Mendelian inheritance, in which the number of phenotypic class is asked with reference to any test cross. Okay, so first of all, let's consider this test cross. The moment we consider a test cross in which the hybrids or given genotype is going to be crossed with a recessive parent, we know very well. So this is the cross we are going to consider. So this is the cross we are going to consider. Now, this particular genotypic constitution is going to form 4 types of gametes. Again, here we will apply the same formula, that is 2 to the power n. So the number of heterozygotes are here 1, and this is the 2. So 2 to the power 2 is equal to 4. So altogether 4 gametes are going to be formed. As far as this genotype is concerned, this is going to form only one type of gamete, that is small a, small b, and small c. So let's see that what is the total number of genotypes that is going to be formed out of these combinations. The 4 possible gametes that is going to be formed by the parents are like this. This is ABC, then a small b c, then small a capital B C, and then small a small b and capital C. So all are going to cross with the same phenotype, so we can write like this: ABC for the number of genotypic class is equal to number of phenotypic class is equal to 4. What are the 4? This is the first genotypic and phenotypic class, this is the second one, this is the third one, and this is the fourth one. So what is the key learning? The key learning is that in case of test cross, the number of genotypic and phenotypic class are always the same. So that is why here we are going to get same genotypic as well as the phenotypic class. Or we can also write down that in test cross, number of genotypic class or phenotypic class is equal to 2 to the power n, where n is equal to number of heterozygotes. So this is the formula we can use for quick calculations. This is a typical Mendelian problem based on a dihybrid cross. Now a pea plant with a yellow round seeds is crossed with a plant with a green wrinkle seeds, and we know very well that yellow is a dominant over green. Similarly, round is dominant over wrinkle. So here small y is denoted with a green and small r is denoted with a wrinkle. So in the given case, what we are going to see that the progeny, that is yellow round, yellow wrinkle, green round and green wrinkle, are producing in equal number. So if it is producing in equal number, it's pretty clear that this is a typical case of test cross, because in the case of test cross only, we get the phenotypic and genotypic ratio same. So it means the genotypes which is involved in making such cross will be a typical test cross. So the F1 hybrid will be like this and the recessive parent will be like this. So if we cross, what we will get? This is going to produce 4 types of gametes, that is capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small r, small y, capital R, and small y, small r. This is going to produce only one type of gamete, that is small y, small r. If we cross them, then we will get a genotype of YR. We can put like this. So what is the phenotype of this genotypic constitution? It is obvious, it is yellow round. Similarly, what will the phenotype of this? This will be yellow wrinkle. For this one, this will be green round, and this is going to be green wrinkle. So it is obvious that all of this is going to produce in the ratio of 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. So it is a test cross ratio. So we know very well that in case of test cross, the cross is going to occur between the F1 and the recessive parent. So the very constitution of F1 is that it is heterozygotes, and in case of recessive parents, both genes are present in recessive forms. So this is the requisite answer. This is again a typical problem of Mendel, but for a change here, the requisite progeny with a given phenotype is asked. In the earlier case, we have seen that specific genotype were asked, but here phenotypic constitutions were asked for. So here we are looking for a tall, green and wrinkle plant for a genotypic constitution, that is capital T, capital Y, small r, that is going to cross with a capital T, capital Y, small y and capital R, small r. So this is the cross what we have to consider. Now let's concentrate over here that what will be the proportion of tall. Again, for tall plant, we have to consider a cross between these genes. Okay. So for tall, what we have to do? We have to cross TT into TT. So in all the cases, you will always get a TT that stand for tall. So their fraction is always equal to 1. Now for green one, we have to study a cross between capital Y, small y into capital Y, small y. So if we cross like this, we will get this genotype. Capital Y is a typical monohybrid cross in which we get a phenotypic ratio of 3:1. So it is obvious that all these three will be green. So the proportion of the green for the given progeny will be, that is 3/4. Now in the next we have to find out the wrinkle one. Now this is the wrinkle one. This is the cross what we have to consider for the wrinkle one. So for wrinkle, mind it, here we are only considering the phenotypes. So this is the cross we will study, and after this we will get only two types of genotype, that is RR, R and small r. So the total fraction will be 1/2 because the wrinkle in this particular case is only this one. Therefore, fraction of phenotype for tall, green and wrinkle is equal to 1 into 3/4 into 1/2, that is equal to 3/8. So this is the fraction. That is our answer. Now in the given question, albinism is the lack of pigmentation, we know very well, and that is going to occur due to recessive gene. Now a normal man and a normal woman is going to marry, but each of them is going to have one albino parent. So it means that man as well as woman both were heterozygotes. So the genotype of man will be like this. Similarly, the genotype of female will be again heterozygote, since they have a parents. Out of them, at least one of them were albino. So since this albino is a autosomal gene, so one of the parents is always going to transmit that gene to their children, and the children is normal. It means that this particular genotypic constitution in them is in the heterozygotes. So this is the cross we have to study. When we cross it, we will typically get this genotype. So out of this, these will be normal, but this child with this genotypic constitution will be albino. So the requisite probability will be is equal to 1/4. Now here there is a disease called phenylketonuria, that is an inborn error, and this is also carried by the autosomal gene. So a man and a woman each carries a mutant gene for phenylketonuria, but neither of them has this disease. Again, it means that both of them are heterozygotes. Suppose small p is a gene that causes phenylketonuria. So the genotypic constitutions of male will be again capital P small p, and for female it will be again capital P small p. Since both of them is going to carry the mutant allele, but since none of them is going to suffering from them, so that's why they are heterozygote. If we cross them, we will get genotype like this: capital P, small p, the small p. Out of these three, they will be absolutely normal, and this will be having a disease carrying child. So the fraction will be 1/4, or we can also write 0.25. That is the probability. Here I would like to emphasize that the question is asking about the second child. Important thing is that in case of a human, at a time only one child is born. So every time this particular event is absolutely independent of the previous event. So in nutshell, we can say that every event is independent. So even if the question is asking about first child, second child or third child, in all the cases the answers will remain the same. Thank you. Video lesson. You can subscribe to www.youtube.com/aptcats. You can also subscribe to www.facebook.com/ toptrigger.com. We are interested to have your feedbacks. Please mail your feedbacks to info@theRateOfApticates.com.